All right, moving on to chapter 16. The further we go along the book, the harder it is topic-wise. Just a heads up, I don't do trigger warnings. I grew up in the 80s. We didn't have that kind of thing. So, here we go.
Something he says he never felt before, but that was the only emotion he felt. He said he did not feel remorse. Originally, when talking to the CBI and Frederick police, he said in his confession that he killed Shanann in a blind rage. Christopher now says there was no rage. He was angry with Shanann over her not allowing him to see his family. When talking to the authorities, even when talking about his children, he felt nothing for them. He says it did not register with him that his family was gone. It's not normal that a person never felt anger in his life, but Christopher says until that morning, he never felt the emotion of anger. While growing up, he said he never got into fights and never was in any kind of trouble. Christopher shows signs of alexithymia, the inability to express emotions or to understand others' emotions.
There's also a part in the book where Sherilyn asks Christopher if he ever had a mental health evaluation and if she thinks that he might be on the spectrum with the diagnosis of Asperger's, which we don't call it that anymore. It's just on the spectrum. He said he's never had an evaluation, but it sounds like it makes sense to him. We're going to go on to another part of the book. With this book, Sherilyn Cadle also reached out to the Watts family, and they gave her some information and letters to help her write the book. This was an interesting part from chapter 16 that I wanted to share with you.
1. People followed daily. Cindy gives an account that her daughter-in-law would drug the children every night with Benadryl before they went to bed, and that she put the girls to bed by 6:30 every evening, and down for a 3-hour nap every afternoon, saying there were only a couple of hours between the time they woke from their afternoon naps until their bedtime. Shanann was live on Facebook and social media many times daily. Christopher says this was an area of stress for him. He did not want to be on camera, and many times, Shanann would put him there spontaneously. She was social and loved being in front of people and in front of the camera.
So we know that this is true because Shanann did talk about having the kids trained on a program called Baby Wise. I believe Baby Wise did come out. If they didn't come out, people who've used it have come out and said this is not how the program works. She's not doing it the way that they direct people to do it. We also have seen all these videos where he is very awkward on camera, doesn't want to be on camera, especially when she reveals the pregnancy. We kind of all remember that "Oops, I did it again" video. We're going to go into chapter 17 coming up next.